Hi, my name is Rizwaan Abbas. I'm the director of the Indo-Fijian Cultural Society of Canada, and today we are honoring our Girmitiya ancestors on Girmitiya Day. Normally, throughout the world, today is celebrated as Girmit Day, which is a celebration for the Indian arrival of Indians in Fiji. But today we decided to do something different. We decided to reclaim the day and call it Girmitiya Day to honor the indentured laborers themselves, the Girmitiyas.
May 14, 1879, 144 years ago, marks the year when the Leonidas arrived in Fiji with laborers from India. They signed an agreement, or Girmit, which committed them to 5-year terms of servitude. Between 1879 and 1916, there were 87 voyages, with nearly 61,000 laborers arriving in Fiji. After the indentured labor system was abolished, many of the families didn't return to India and stayed in Fiji, making the small island home. Today we're reflecting on their journey, experience, and how they created community.
My name is Angelene Komal Prakash, and I'm the creator and co-host of No Ties 1879 podcast alongside my brother, where the both of us talk about our experiences growing up in Ladner, BC, which is a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. And growing up there was a bit of a challenge for us, and it remains to be to this day at some points. And alongside that, we also raise awareness about Girmit, which is the British indentured labor system in Fiji.
This day is so important to us, and it really means the world that you're here. So thank you very much.
Traditionally, as people think about the Indo-Canadian culture and community here in the Lower Mainland, they don't think of the Indo-Fijians. So it's really important to us to have an opportunity or an event that we can have the congregation of Indo-Fijian people. And it was great to have people from all different generations here to represent the community.
An important person who was a part of planning today was Milind Singh. She is a community organizer who's been doing this for many, many years and was instrumental in doing some of the research and getting together today's host notes for herself to be able to paint a picture in between each presentation on what it was like for our Girmitiya ancestors in Fiji.
Thank you for joining us today to remember our history, our ancestors, and their journeys from India to Fiji well over a century ago.
Today present we had Councillor Joanna Charles from Semiahmoo First Nation, which was an extreme privilege. She was able to speak on the parallels that she's seen alongside our population and hers, coming from an Indigenous population here on Turtle Island. And something that we strongly believe in is that we do have a kindredness alongside the Indigenous population here.
I started exploring my identity, I would say, during the pandemic.
Additionally, we had Shireen Ali, who is a biracial poet. Shireen spoke on identity and the challenge in discovering or learning about your identity, especially as a biracial person.
I want to tell you, but my broken Hindi breaks me. Echoes in the farthest places in my mind.
I went to India with that photograph because my ancestors and my roots come from Fiji and come from India.
Sam Thiara was also an amazing speaker that we had. Sam is a prof at the SFU Beatty School of Business, and he's definitely a very engaging speaker, and he talked to us today about a book that he wrote where he went back to India to trace his roots and discover more about his identity, coming from a diaspora, many different diasporas, right, of being of Indian ancestry, Fijian ancestry, but also born in the UK.
We're all Khichdi. We're a blend of flavors. I always describe this to people, and the funny part is, whether you're Asian, Caucasian, and you describe Khichdi, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm Khichdi.
at the behest of a colonizer that forced an upper hand, to this very day has created such a challenge.
While being a very instrumental part of the planning team, Arif Ali, aka Alite, is also this very amazing hip hop artist that we have met in the last few years. Every piece that he writes is original, and his ability as a hip hop artist is amazing, but the impact that he has when he recites spoken word poetry, his words have been very empowering for us.
And what they stole was more than jewels and gold, more than human bodies and labor and land and what you hold.
The Girmitiya history hasn't been spoken about. It's not taught in schools. It isn't something that people talk about in their households, and even our community doesn't talk about it. And it's important to have these difficult conversations. It's from these difficult conversations that we can actually learn and grow as a community and actually appreciate the Girmitiya ancestors, their resiliency and their sacrifices. If it were not for them, we would not be here today.